What is going on YouTube? Today we are reacting to I built a rocket revolver, and honestly the thumbnail made this look absolutely insane. I don't see how this could go right because it's a freaking rocket in a gun. There's no way this is gonna work. But I do hope you do enjoy today's video. I do stream over at twitch.tv/TrueEarl and on this main YouTube channel as well, so if you guys want to come hang out, I'd love to see you guys there. And with that being said, let's get right into the video.
This is a model rocket, and they usually get launched into the sky.
That's where I would hope it'd go.
But what if one fell over right before launch, accidentally landed into the chamber of a handheld rapid launch platform with
That's a
two
lot of
other
what
rockets, and then was ignited?
Oh my god.
Well, today we're gonna find out.
Yo, how did that not like burn his face lobes? Like what? This is sick. Oh!
Okay, my idea for this was pretty simple, and my idea for the rocket revolver consists of two parts.
A
The rocket
revolver
part and
and
the
a
revolver-shaped
rocket, yeah.
launcher part. Let's start with the rocket part.
2, 1.
A battery? Whoa. How did that happen?
Luckily, I had my fire extinguisher, so nothing bad happened. And what I just ignited
with the
was a
battery.
model rocket engine that should fly in a straight line like this one here. But upon reviewing the slope,
I'm not gonna lie. I do the same thing. I would like watch a video and like have it go off screen and like look past it all the time.
my rocket did not fly straight, but was rather quite zesty with it. And since I want to launch
Nice.
my rockets accurately, I'm gonna need to dabble in some science of the rocket persuasion. Now, I'm told that a model rocket has 4 main parts: the nose cone, the body, the fins, and the motor. I didn't know where to start the design, but I had this box of motors laying around, so I figured there was as good as any. This is an A10 engine, which I believe is the same engine that powers this flying gun, if I am mistaken. The datasheet claims a max thrust of less than 3 pounds, which means if I were to put a motor in this rocket body and tie it to this jug of high-energy plankton, it shouldn't be able to move it, but I had to find out for myself.
Everything this is so confusing. Oh!
The motor decided to disembowel itself from the body, and for a while I thought my house was burning down because I couldn't find it.
Oh my god.
But I finally saw it nestled into bed.
Is all this stuff like just buyable in the US? Like is just like in your Walmart or like Zaxby's or whatever? Is it Zaxby's? I don't know. I have some American friends, but I have no idea.
With the tripod across the garage, and that was the last time I'll be setting one of those off inside.
That's the last one.
That failed test meant I had to remove some scope from the project.
Getting milk from store.
A solid motor, so now I just need to stop it from tumbling in the air. And there are generally 2 ways to achieve that: put some spinach on it or put some finage on it. Spinning a projectile somehow makes it stable via an effect of a Greek sandwich, which I'm not nearly smart enough to explain. So I made this piece with these whittle ears that go in this rifled tube, which should impart a twist when it comes out.
Oh, not bad.
This twist looks suspiciously like a tumble, and when compared to this def projectile's performance, the results were exactly the same. But I loaded a rocket in it anyway, just to see if it knew something that I didn't.
The hand.
Stabilization. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit.
1.
It did not.
Oh, not the horsey! The horsey! No! Why are you scared of the horse?
It turns out that some psychopaths in the 60s already tried to make a gyrationally stable rocket gun called the Gyrojet, but it was a miserable failure, and if the same generation of engineers who made this couldn't get the Gyrojet to work, do you really think this guy can? They say that fin is the new spin, so I took the previously gymnastics-loving projectile, made some adequately sized fins for it, laid some nasty beads to weld the 2 together, and now it should fly perfectly. These may seem like failures to the educated eye, but my 1.8 GPA eyeballs were telling me this was great news because my Imperial shuttle no longer tumbled and even flew once.
It soared? Oh! Oh!
It actually flew.
And if it flew once, I don't see any reason
why
it wouldn't work with a rocket in it.
Dude, something about like sudden motions where something just lifts off and not work at all is hilarious. Oh!
Clearly just having big fins isn't enough, but don't tell this guy because that's kind of like his whole thing, and he looks a little busy finding that out for himself right now. Now, the smaller fins on this beautifully illustrated rocket led me to believe that they weren't just there to generate lift like a traditional wing, but to also balance the rocket by shifting its center of gravity, which is just as important.
Why is he marking this with a knife?
As on a throwing knife.
Wait,
and all this stuff we're learning is from The Book by Hungry Minds, which is today's sponsor. NASA themselves confirmed proved my theory about fins and the center of gravity thing, so shout out to them. But
Shout out
they accidentally
NASA?
called it center of pressure and said some nonsense about it being below the center of gravity. So if the book
I
was
don't know
my
what that means.
theoretical rocket, I could find its center of gravity by balancing it on my finger and
I didn't know what
just
that
keep the
means.
center of pressure below that and it'd be stable in flight.
If you fail, your dog will starve and your family's gonna run away and no one will ever love you and you'll never win the
Oh,
Piston
no.
Cup.
The book is
Oh, no,
cool
not the
not
dog.
only because it has trains in it, but my favorite part is that it's one
Dude,
giant
I might have a little bit of tism, but I think trains are freaking sick. They're like the coolest inventions ever.
quest that only 7 people have ever solved. And just knowing that this book is a quest instantly made me schizophrenic and I started seeing clues in everything. Why is that page number colored? What does the barrel child mean?
yeah, why?
Can't I find Waldo?
Waldo?
And how did my man fit a whole pair of scissors up there? Now to start the quest, the easy
Very
puzzles
carefully.
are marked by these butterflies, and the hard puzzles are marked by...
This does not look like a
if
science
reading
book at
and
all.
learning is something you like doing because you're just better, click the link in the description below or scan this QR
Wait,
code to
what
purchase
is
the
this book?
And I beg of you to use my code CONCEPT to get 10% off. Thanks again to Hungry Minds for sponsoring this video. Now back to vibe engineering a model rocket. Typical model rockets are between 12 and 24 inches long, but that seemed ridiculous for a handheld
Good, yeah.
application, so I made this much more practical.
What a convenient place to put that rocket, huh? Nobody's gonna see that one.
Sized rocket, clocking in at a very respectable 5 inches. Now, the fins may look a little Nemo-y, but that's because they are, since I needed the whole thing to fit in a cylinder with other
Oh, he's gonna have a
rockets.
it's like a
It didn't
3-1.
really seem to like
A
flying
3-bolter?
or living for that matter, so I loaded a motor into it and found where gravity liked touching it the most. I then traced its shadow on
Okay.
a piece of cardboard, carefully cut out the shape of the rocket, and then balanced that to
Why did
find
you-
my
wait, hold on,
rocket's
why did you use a
center of
grinder?
pressure.
Is that the right way?
The CP was higher than the CG, which did not a stable rocket make, so I got my nuts out and started slapping them onto
Nice.
the chin of the rocket until it changed the center of gravity enough to make it stable. I then remade the nose
Okay.
cone so I could weigh it internally, and then to double check its stability, I put it on a leash and gave it the same treatment I give my neighbor's dog when it poops in my yard. And it sure
Why
looks like
would
a
he do that to
rocket when I do
Doggo?
that, so I
Oh,
think
it's
this'll
working.
work.
Oh, good Lord.
Now before flying the rocket, I first strapped it down and put a plug in it, which is an
Why-
actual
what
test
did that do?
rocketists do called a static fire test. And for this test, I just wanted to see what would happen when the motor's ejection
This is not
charge
really a good
went off.
idea. Oh, that's pretty cool.
It appears I inadvertently made a rocket that fires its own rocket, so I'll be
Huh?
expecting a call from Locky M any day now.
Oh,
I
it
then
came off
printed
to the
this
back. Okay,
test
that makes
barrel,
sense.
And like a great speedwagon once said, I believe it's time for me to fly my model rocket.
This is gonna work. Yo,
1.
dude, it's not bad. It's almost there. I think you just like get a little bit of a higher angle, and he might actually just have a revolver rocket.
Where did it even
This
go?
may be an angle
Clearly,
thing.
the ground was a more desirable target for the rocket, but the slow-mo
Ew.
showed that it flew pretty darn straight, which is
Yeah, there it
promising.
is.
So I propped up the end of the table and gave it another go.
3,
Yeah, there's an
2,
angle.
1.
Oh, a little too high.
I lost track of it and thought it hit the house, so I did my best Hasselhoff impersonation, except clothed and with a fire extinguisher and 15% more body fat. I found its remnants only a couple 100 feet away, and the slowest of motions I had available to me showed a straight enough flight path, which I was super
That's
happy
not
with
bad,
since
yeah.
this was the first time I had ever tried to make a model
It somehow went
rocket.
uppies, though.
Now,
I
if
don't
you
get that
recall,
one.
The making of the rocket was only half the battle, and I still had to make the launch platform, which needed to do 3 things. Rotate the cylinder without harming it, stop
Okay. Mm-hmm.
at the right spot, and ignite the rocket motor via electrical means just like a normal model rocket. So I designed a bunch of professional parts, such as the
Professional.
finger, the big finger, and the balls holder. And
The
then I was
balls.
trying to build the trigger, another trigger system for you and me. And oh baby, I
already know how to
finally
build
got
one
it
of
to
these.
mostly
Oh, that looks
work.
kinda cool.
It is at this point I should make my argument for why this isn't what it looks like. There's no firing pin, no hammer, no launch by mechanical means, and the rocket engines are
Okay.
actually black powder, not gunpowder. And even if you did still want to call this a firearm, you actually can't, since the caliber of the rocket is well over a 50 cal, which technically makes this a cannon.
What?
The indexer rotates the launch.
Wait, did he just make a hand cannon? Is like some some like Fallout shit. He just created a hand cannon.
To the correct position. And to fire the rocket, I came up with this ball spring idea when this guy in my Discord suggested it, which on full trigger pull interfaces with these screws to power the motor igniter. There's also an exhaust tube that I'll become intimately familiar with later, and it's even got a cylinder flip out for front loading the rockets.
What do you mean by
the
that?
launch platform done, I set back up the testing range and was kind of nervous to do the first test by hand.
It was gonna be
rigged
cool.
some mechanical hands to do the holding for me so that I could fire it from a safe distance. And once a rocket
right
was
beside
loaded
it.
into the cylinder, it was time to see if this thing would even work or just blow up.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, it worked.
I'd say that worked pretty well, but you'll notice that I touched the E spot instead of the trigger here because I couldn't get the cylinder to line up correctly otherwise. And after assessing the damage done to my target and verifying that nothing
That's a lot of
melted,
damage.
I clothed it and got ready to fire it for real this time.
3, 2.
Oh my gosh.
1. Oh, good lord.
God, that's kind of scary.
And remember how the rocket motors kind of eject themselves? Because I certainly forgot up until I felt the heat of that one.
Dude, this is not safe for work. Well, actually, it is safe for work, but not safe for commercial use. I don't know. I think that exhaust would be a little further as well.
Go by. With that success, I loaded all 3 rockets in and gave it another go.
Oh my god. I kind of want to make one of these.
The second one was apparently impotent, but the third one went after it took its sweet time.
There we go.
And I was starting to realize that hitting something may be harder than I actually thought. So I tried again.
Okay, because he gets darker.
And then finally...
Oh!
Oh, hit one.
Unfortunately, the rocket just gave it a little love tap, which is clearly seen in this replay here. And my launch tube kept getting out of whack, so I printed the thin finger, which should kick out during trigger pull and stop the cylinder from over-rotating. But there was only one way to find out.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
It worked for exactly one shot. Launch.
Nice.
And after a couple more misses, my electron dealer entirely stopped igniting the rockets, so I upgraded the battery and knew I'd eventually hit a target unless a silly event like a rocket motor exploding in the chamber.
Wait, he's actually just like hand charging it. Like if you look at his left hand, he actually just keeps putting it in himself.
I'd eventually hit a target unless a silly event like a rocket motor exploding in the chamber occurred.
3, 2, 1.
God damn. Oh,
Luckily, I take safety seriously.
Yeah, he's got glasses
I was wearing my safety glasses, which took most of the impact, and I still had my ruggedly looks, even though my exhaust tube tried to Van Gogh me. So then I just held it off to the side, and clearly hitting the broadside of a barn would actually be quite the feat for this thing. And since I was running out of rocket motors, I decided to make a much more stable launch.
Why did you take the exhaust
and
off?
yearned with all of my being to hit a can with the rocket.
Oh, come on!
But just as I had given up hope of seeing something explode, it happened.
Oh, that was a good one. That one's straight. Oh.
Check that out.
Dude, that did a lot of damage, actually. I'm actually kind of surprised.
Perfect timing, too, because that was pretty much the last rocket I had. And for some dessert after the main course, here's some extra slow-mo I thought was cool.
That is pretty dope. Okay, I think that was pretty cool. I like it when it flings and just does some random stuff. That's the dopest. Oh my god, that was actually a banger video, I'm not gonna lie. Everything he did there was super creative, and I was not expecting it to actually get a good finished product either, because I feel like they never end up working out. But I do hope you did enjoy today's video. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you guys would like me to react to next, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya!